Hi there, everybody. How you doing? Today we're going to talk about solving a two-step inequality. And we're just going to talk about the basics. We're not going to talk about any negative coefficients or any of that stuff. That's for another video. But let's just think about what it would mean if I asked you to solve this equation. 3x minus 5 equals 13. Now, I know this is supposed to be about inequalities, but let's just talk about what the process would be for this. Let's solve this in dark blue. What we should know is that we're going to look for any constants that appear in the problem. In this case, our constant is a -5, and we know that the first thing we're going to do is get rid of that -5 by performing the opposite operation, which in this case would be adding 5. And of course, fundamental law of algebra tells us that whatever we do to one side of an equation, we have to do to the other. So we add 5s to both sides. That gives me now a 3x equals, sign comes down, and a 13 plus 5 is 18. Final step, divide both sides by the coefficient, which in this case is a 3. Cross cancel my 3's, I've got an x all by itself. 18 divided by 3 is 6. That's how we solve an equation, and as we can see, there is only one solution. There is only one way for this equation to be true, and that's if I plug in a 6 for this value here, I would get a true statement. Let's revisit that entire thing, only instead of an equal sign, 3x minus 5, let's use an inequality symbol. Let's use less than. It's less than 13 instead of equal to 13. And now let's solve, I guess, in this orange color. Same rules apply. Fundamental law of algebra tells me I find the constant. And there it is. That's still my -5. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to add a 5 to it. And I'm going to add a 5 to the other side. Plus 5 minus 5 cancel out. 3x comes down. My inequality symbol comes down, and 13 plus 5 is 18. Two-step inequality, just like a two-step equation, we divide away the coefficient, in this case, again, a 3. My 3's cancel, giving me an x is less than 6. Now, what's different about this is that an inequality does not have one straight solution. There's going to be a range of answers, which means I graph my solution on a number line here. So I'm going to graph my number line here, and we'll start with, I guess, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, we are dealing with the fact that a 6 cannot make this true. So if a 6 cannot make this true, I'm going to put an open circle at that 6. That open circle is a suggestion that tells me that 6 is not included. That means the 6 is not going to be a solution. But if x is less than 6, that tells me that every value on this number line that is smaller than 6 is going to make this a true statement. In this case, since I've got an open circle not including the 6, every number that is smaller than 6 will make it true. We're going to try one more. 28 is greater than or equal to 12 plus 4x. Looks a little different. It's not. We're going to do the same thing. Look for our constant. That's a 12. We also know that since there's no negative symbol there, that is a positive 12. So to undo that constant, I subtract 12. And I subtract 12 from both sides. My 12s go away. I have a 4x remaining. My inequality symbol comes down, and 28 minus 12 is 16. Final step, divide away the coefficient of 4. And I've got my x all by itself, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and I've got a 4. Now, personally, this is a personal preference of mine. I prefer to write my inequalities with the variable on the left-hand side, so I'm going to rewrite this. And when I rewrite this, I'm going to make sure that the inequality symbol is still facing the 4 like it is here. So I'm going to make sure that my 4 is there, and then it looks different, but they both mean the same thing. So let's graph it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, this time, I have a greater than or equal to symbol, not a less than or greater than symbol. So that means instead of an open circle, I work with a closed circle on that 4. And we're talking about all the numbers that are less than or equal to 4. That means it's these numbers in this direction. So all numbers that are less than or equal to 4 make this a true statement. And there you have it.